Welcome to the Council of Moms. I'm your host, Lisa Valentine Clark. We assemble the best and the brightest of moms of different backgrounds, with different ideas. We come together because nobody can do motherhood alone. We're all making it up as we go, and it's all hands on deck. So that's why we're here to talk about all the things that moms are worried about or concerned about or just want to laugh about. I am the mother of 5 mostly grown children. I'm at the stage of parenting right now where I'm not questioning everything anymore, but I am super reflective. My youngest is a senior in high school, and I'm finding myself having lots of flashes of moments of like, is this how it felt with all of them when they were this age? Or she's approaching like becoming 18. Like, wait, what else do I need to know before she's legally an adult? It's kind of overwhelming, but it's also kind of freeing. So lots of emotions, which is actually my theme for motherhood. I'm not the only one on this council, thank goodness. We also have 3 other incredible moms. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Thank you. My name is Ruth Aguirre. I am a mom of 4 beautiful children from 13 to 7. And so I'm in the phase of life where I don't have toddlers or babies anymore, but also entering adolescence, which is a whole nother ball game, I'm starting to realize. And I am passionate about being a mom and also finding that balance with myself and my identity. So it's all a beautiful, crazy, messy journey. And I'm here for it.
I'm Amy Hackworth, and I am a mom of 3 boys. My 2 oldest are out of the house now, which was not the case, I think, last time I was on the Council of Moms. That's a new situation for us to have our second son out of the house. And then we have a little guy still at home, an 11-year-old. So we're sort of like, I know we did the math on this, but now here it is. Here it is. We have 1 child at home and he's 11. It's wild and great. And I'm also doing lots of reflecting, Lisa, in that stage too, of thinking, did I teach those older kids enough? What do we still need to teach this little guy? And lots of letting go too. Lots of letting go, saying, okay, we did what we did. And here they are, great kids. Yeah,
great kids. And last but not least.
Hi, I'm Erika. I have 5 kids. 2 of them are still at home and 3 are gone. And yet I say they're gone, and yet they're in my house more than they were when they were teenagers. The difference is they still want all my food. They just don't want my opinion. So that's where we're at.
I love it. And I love the Council of Moms. What a great introduction. The Council of Moms, uniting moms everywhere, one carpool at a time.
Yes.
Council of Moms, we've tried everything, so you don't have to. And as always, the Council of Moms made with real moms. So, real moms, I have a real question for you from one of our listeners. Dear Council of Moms, my kids are obsessed with getting a pet. It's not a phase. They beg and beg and beg and beg it, and they promise that they'll take care of it. And I'm pretty on the fence. I'm not a pet person myself, and I really don't relish the thought of having one more thing to take care of. But it also seems like a core childhood experience. And some people say that it's a good way to teach responsibility. So I'd just like to hear from some moms on the other side. Is there anything you wish you knew or anything you wish your kids had done to prepare for this? How do I know if my kids are ready to take on the responsibility of owning a pet?
One word, goldfish. That's it.
Okay.
That's where you start. That's where you end.
That's not a bad idea. Because my first thought was like, what kind of pet? Like,
Totally.
You know, are we talking about a llama or are we talking about a lizard, a dog, a cat? Because these are all different responsibility levels. Don't you think?
Yes. We had a lizard. I thought that would be so easy. We had a lizard and a frog. But you have to go buy live crickets for these animals. You are at the pet store.
It's like another to-do.
It is totally another to-do. It is not buying a bag of food that you keep at home for however long. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've been burned. I'm not a pet person. I'm a sort of a pet person. I love other people's pets. I'd like a pet to come and visit me.
Oh,
I don't want to take care of a pet.
I'm
And my
not.
kids turns out my kids don't either.
Listen, I feel like I am a cautionary tale, like for so many things. I am not a pet person. I got a COVID dog, and you know what that means. Like a lot of people did. And listen, I love my dog, Gus. I do. And he follows me everywhere, and he drives me insane. Every day I just think, I'm so sorry, because I feel like I'm not taking as good care of him as he deserves. And I feel like he's really not being a good pet, but I don't have the time to like train him like I did right at the beginning. And in my defense, when I got him, all 5 of my, because I was always like, no, I'm not taking care of one more thing. And the kids would be like, please, 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 we want a dog, please, please. And I'd say, if you take care of him. And when we got Gus, we were all super, super sad. It was I literally thought to myself, I can't be any sadder. I might as well get a dog. I literally said that. Like, life is horrible right now. So, yeah, get a dog. What else do you want? Like, So my really good friend, who is a total pet person, you know, like fosters dogs and cats. And she's like, I found one that I think could fit, that's already trained, that's older, that's a rescue, you know, had all the requirements, because I couldn't train him. She's like, you should not have a puppy. And I was a little offended, like, oh, okay. Because I wasn't ready for it, you know, but neither were my kids, of like training and stuff. I got a training package and had a trainer come over and teach me how to take care of this dog. When we got the dog, I had 5 children at home helping me take care. Right now, I take care of the dog 24/7. It's all on me. And I love him. But I would say to this mom, how do you know if my kids are ready to take on the responsibility of owning a pet? Do you want to own the pet? From mom to mom, if they don't, you have to take care of that dog, because that's a living creature and they deserve to be taken care of. So you know if you're ready. And if you're not ready, I think a no is a good no.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think kids genuinely want to do a good job taking care of the pet. But here's our experience. Mom, we promise we will walk the dog. We will feed the dog. We will comb the dog. We will do everything for the dog if you'll just let us have the dog. Okay, we'll let you have the dog. And then we didn't do the math. It's like, okay, so a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old are all like, can we have this dog? We'll pay for it. And they did. Dogs live 10 to 15 years. And now that 10-year-old, that 12-year-old, that 14-year-old are all out of the house. Guess who's taking care of the dog? It's not with them.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's with me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so you have to do the math, and you have to be willing to be like, well, they're not going to take care of it eventually. Also, life happens and these kids get super busy. I think my kids mean well, but like I've got kids that are early morning classes at school all the way down to working till 11 p.m. at night. That dog's not going to get walked. That dog's not going to get fed unless this lady does it. So I do think that if your kids say, I'm ready for a pet, exactly, Lisa, am I ready for a pet? Because it will be on you. It will.
Yeah, I would say absolutely. It impacts the family. And at the same time, I grew up with pets. They were outdoor pets. And so they were around, but you know, now that I have to pay for my own things, my own house, it changes, you know, it's like, well, that's another responsibility. And so for me, I think it's been, you know, kind of figuring out not only if the child is ready, but also recognizing that it's not going to be totally on them. Like life does happen and they're not going to be able to fulfill all the things all the time, you know, throughout the life of the pet, but are they ready? And also, can they handle like emotionally the needs of the pet as well? Simply because I feel like my kids, all of us are very emotional. And so it's just adding.
What do you mean?
Emotional weight.
I feel called out. I know. I'm not emotional. You're emotional.
But also pets, I've seen like the power of pets when it's like the right timing or the right moment, space, time,
Yeah.
like all the things. Because I remember especially my oldest, right? She's just like an older child, so good, responsible, an example. I try not to put her on a pedestal, but she's just so great. And there's three other children that require a lot of my attention sometimes. And so I remember there was a time when I think she might have been like 7 or 8, which still is kind of young. But she'd been wanting a dog, particularly for some time, and we have been like, not time, not ready, all the things. But I remember that she expressed to myself and my husband, her feelings of like sadness and feeling left out, and like she doesn't get a lot of time with mom and dad because the other
Aw.
kids take over, and they did, and they still do take over so much time. And so it was really interesting to think about that and sit with that and make a decision. And I would even say add, if there is a partner, a spouse in the family, add them to the conversation, because we really need to also kind of manage the load, not just for moms, but
Yeah.
for other adults living, in that space. But we just felt like it was the right time. This child again demonstrated maturity. She was like an 8-year-old, but really like a 15-year-old, just in her cognition and responsibility. And so we ended up getting a pet. And that pet, this dog, it was little. We had to kind of figure out, have a
Yeah.
conversation about what type of dog that could fit into our family and kind of be a pet that can fit into our lifestyle as well, right? And so small dog, golden doodle was the one we settled on. But it was just really interesting to see what that pet did for this child,
Yeah.
in filling a void to some extent. We didn't get the pet in order to fill the void of our absence, like of our time,
Mhm.
not being there, but definitely it helped. But there again was emotional maturity. There was a sense of responsibility. And to this day, now this child is now 13, right? And so has gotten more and more busy. And so that load has now had to be shared
Yeah.
amongst the family, right? But I do feel that when it's the right circumstances, there is a power in it. And I've got another child that recently came home from, 6th grade, and their teacher was like, "I've got chinchillas. Who wants one? You got to talk to your parent."
No, no.
But
Why would a teacher do that to you?
well, this child came home so excited, just beyond excited, that she wanted a chinchilla. And since she saw that the other child got a dog,
Mhm.
it was only natural that she would just get it. But this child had a different set of
Skills.
behaviors and ways.
Sure.
There you go. A different skill set,
Okay.
that still required, some demonstration. And so I think
Yeah.
it's always appropriate to have those heart to heart, open, honest conversations, because I would even say, I even have to tell you that she went on my Target app. First, we said you have to be careful, because we said you have to raise. Well, first you have to
Yeah.
be responsible. Part of that is raising the money to. Well, that girl raised the money quick, and she got on my Target app and ordered, without getting permission, her cage for the chinchilla.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
Well, it's so nice to
She's a
then,
self-starter. Yeah.
there's a skill there.
Wow.
Right, but we weren't ready. There was other things, and so we just sat down with her and had, again, honest conversation with her about some of the things that we need to see, and the why. Really, at the heart of that is to help her understand why we feel like these are important, and it all has to do with this real life creature
Well,
that
and
is
it does
entering
give
into our
you like this opportunity to have conversations that you might not have. It's a great
yeah yeah
conversation starter.
Mhm.
I had a daughter who really thought she was a cat for um several years of her development. From about 18 months to about 3, she wanted to be called Pickles the cat. And she and her sister and myself were all allergic to cats. So her not being able to grow up and get a cat and get a kitten, I mean, she was obsessed from the time she was a baby with like kittens and cats. And we couldn't get one because I'm allergic, her sister's allergic, and she's allergic. And I just remember her being like 4 or 5, being like, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my whole life. She said the same thing, like when she was older. And I just thought, I'm sorry. I mean, you can't get like, and I know people are like, take allergy medicine or take shots or whatever. And I'm like, no, like, or don't have a cat. So
it's a big ask. Yeah.
But this daughter did end up becoming obsessed with birds too, and getting a bird and like hatching it and feeding it with like a little dropper, and loves this bird. This bird is her best friend, and she's had this bird for 6 years. This, and so this cockatiel, and this bird has become a member of our family. I haven't had to do anything for this bird or to take care of this bird, except maybe buy a bag of feed every once in a while. She usually just takes care of it, like with her older brother, who doesn't live with us anymore because he's a grown up. And not for any other reason, but like, so that's a success story of like, oh, great. Yeah. Just take care of that bird. And when they really want to. So, I do think the type of pet makes a big difference.
The type of pet makes a big difference. And I think, we hoped for a story like Ruth's story, where we got the pet that was perfect for our family and was this opportunity. And I don't know what. Did we get a little one with a bad personality? I don't know. Or was it the breed? But when we finally did get a dog, so we had been through that lizard and frog, we got the wrong dog for our family, and it was really difficult. So that would be one thing that I would say to this mom is do your research, like maybe a puppy, agree. Like you were saying, Lisa, is not a good fit for your family. We had just gotten new carpet, you guys. New carpet I had waited years to get. And, I mean, that was so foolish. And the intense training that a dog requires. I totally underestimated really how difficult it is to train a smart dog. Do you know what I mean? I was like, we're getting a smart dog. This breed is totally smart. It'll be easy. We'll just, I was not prepared, for that. And I think you have to know going in, yes, your kids can be responsible. They can do certain things. And there are things, depending on their age and their maturity level, like Ruth was saying, that they won't be able to do.
There are a lot of different ways to teach responsibility. I think that pressure in the question of like, I can use this as a teaching opportunity. Yes, you can. You can. Yeah. If you like that, there are also other ways.
Absolutely.
Yes. There are
absolutely. I just wanted to piggyback off of Amy's comment on finding that right pet, because you just know that you can shop around. That I've had families reach out like, hey, if you ever need a pet sitter for your dog, we'd love to test drive your dog to see if that's the dog for our family, right? A weekend that you need to go away or whatnot.
That's a really great idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought, of course, because they're figuring out, can a dog enter our family? Is this type of dog our type of dog?
And then you can kind of see like if your kids are like how they react, because it might surprise them.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
And I think that goes with other kinds of pets too, like lizards or hamsters or, whatever. I love the idea of a test drive. Should have done that. Should have done that.
The Council of Moms, full of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That's us. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I will say, as a family who's had 2 different dogs with my kids growing up.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's 2 words that encapsulate our experience with pets. And that is, I feel like they're limiting, but I also feel like they're enriching. And so I feel like there's 2 sides of this coin. And one side is you can't leave town without it being a huge hullabaloo. Someone's got to watch the dog, or you have to take the dog to a kennel. And is it a good kennel for the dog? And are they going to be sad? And there's so many thoughts that go into being able to jump and just leave, right? I mean, it's pretty limiting.
Yes.
Yes. And I also feel like it's limiting on your house. Amy's already spoken about her carpet. We have a giant golden retriever, and ladies, the amount of vacuums I have burned through in pet hair is a real thing. It's a real thing. And so it's limiting in that way. Mm-hmm. But then moments like this happen. My youngest is 14, and he has these recurring dreams that people keep disappearing in his dreams, and he turns around and people are gone. And I think it's because all of his older siblings keep leaving home. This always happens when one of the kids moves out or leaves for, college or whatever. And the other day, and he did not know I saw this, and he probably won't be watching this, so I think we're safe. But
he doesn't binge watch Council of Moms. Rude. Okay. Ouch. Go on.
I walked into the room and he was laying down face to face with our golden retriever. And he was just like holding my golden retriever's face, and he was singing to him.
Stop it.
What?
Erica.
I know. I almost started crying. It was the sweetest little thing. And I thought, this poor little person who, junior high is a cesspool. And he comes home from that battleground every day, and there's this face that is so happy to see him. And he has stayed when everyone else has left. And so there is a beauty to that I had never even considered when deciding what breed and, are we ready for this? Do we have the money? So I will say there is a magic, and I don't know if any of you have had a pet die, but that's also something that I never was prepared for my children. And I feel like it was actually a really good experience for them to experience loss in a way that was more manageable than having to lose, I don't know, a bigger loss. Does that make sense? Like, I think it was a good conversation to have and to talk about tender, sweet experiences and God. And I don't know. So there is a magic in pets.
Yeah.
That is
also
true.
Really hard.
And, when my adult I appreciate you sharing that, because that's really sweet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a sales pitch. I don't know if you meant it to be.
Say, like, I know. That's like, sign me up. Why don't I have... My kids are trying to get me to get a second dog because they're so worried about our dog being home alone during the day. Because they're like, you're at work and Margaret's at school. So like, what's Gus going to do? And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to worry about you guys. I have to worry about the dog's like social life. And my adult son Hugh comes home, and sometimes when he's not going to be watching this either, so I don't care what I say. Sometimes if he's really stressed out and something big is like happening in his life or work, like he gets stressed out, he comes home and he does what he used to do when he had anxiety when he was living at home. He goes on these long walks at night and he takes our dog on these long walks. And sometimes even though he doesn't live at home, he'll come home and be like, I need to take Gus on a walk. And he'll take Gus on these really, really long walks. And it calms him and it helps with like his anxiety and things. And so there are elements where I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I paid how many hundreds of dollars to clean this dog's teeth or whatever it is. And I think, okay, that was worth it. Yes. Heart disease worms. I was like, heartworms. Gross.
That is so true. That is a huge consideration as all those unexpected expenses.
I had no idea.
When we were getting someone to watch our dog, like you said, Erica, you just tack on $250 to every time you go out of town, to have someone watch it. All those vaccines, vet visits, we didn't ever have the experience of having surgery, but, we have friends whose, big dog swallowed a sock.
And I don't know about you, but there's no insurance. Like, I don't have that in my insurance plan.
No. Yeah. The last thing, and we just have a minute to like wrap up, that I wanted to address in this question was, hey, this seems like a core childhood experience. And I do think that there's like a lot of pressure, especially for moms, to do motherhood the right way. Like everybody has these certain experiences, and having a pet is one of those. Doesn't everybody have? And I wish that I could just sort of take the pressure off of there's some list of core childhood memories that everyone's kids have to have. I wish I could just sort of take that away, but I mean, I succumbed to it. Is there any like last minute advice about that, overall feeling of like, oh, I got to do this for my kids, whether it's right or not for your family, that you guys would like to chime in on at the end?
I feel like this goes off of what Ruth had said, and that is there are a lot of ways to give your child a pet experience without having to own one. And maybe your kid is the one that watches the dog when the neighbor goes out of town. And maybe your child is the one that you take to the pet store a lot and let them play with the pets at the pet store. You don't have to come home with one. I mean, there are ways to let them have that experience without having to bring one into your home.
Amen. Your child doesn't have to have every core childhood experience, right? There are so many ways to have a great childhood, whether they include pets or not.
Absolutely. And I think from that question, what I'm hearing is, moms oftentimes we have this fear of if I don't do this, then, is my child missing out on something really, really important? And again, it's just expanding that perception that there's so many awesome things that we are providing, that we are doing in our capacity, in our circumstances, et cetera, that we've got to really just let go of that comparison or like you said, Lisa, that list of things that we create, because it is a creation that we do to ourselves, not necessarily something that we have to do. And that every kids are so awesome, resilient. They're going to be just fine.
It's going to be great. Oh, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Maybe you're watching over on YouTube. You can see us rolling our eyes and laughing at each other. If you want to watch on YouTube, you can listen to the Council of Moms wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like this, please support us by liking the show, subscribing, and send this episode to a mom, who might be able to use it, who's maybe considering getting a pet. And also send all of your questions. You can comment here, or we always read every DM on Instagram. The Council of Moms is a production of BYU Radio, and we hope that you'll keep listening. Thanks.